Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. Got a good show today called The Magic of Saving, which is especially pertinent because of inflation. All right, so we should all be saving, 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 saving. I'm doing more investing than saving. However, I have access. I already did a lot of saving beforehand. So now I'm just purely investing because the market's good right now for buying high yield products. But I digress. Saving, saving, saving. All right. So it's not an American culture to save. You're going against the grain. They say most people can't afford $1,000 emergency or a $400 emergency or something of that to that effect. Okay. So we need to talk about saving. It has to be a major deal going forward, especially in inflation, because we don't know what's going to happen each month. Each month is going up 6-7%. All right, so we could go into hyperinflation, which we really don't want to get into. Okay, so let's talk about savings. All right, let me look at my notes. Okay, so this book is available for free download, right? The PDF version is also on Amazon, and it also has a hard book. So when I get stateside, I'll be able to buy the paperback. That way I can show it to you in person, right? Or over to YouTube. Right now I'm overseas and it's going to take me 3 months to get it, and then the video is already out. So I'll be back in 90 days. Looking forward to it. This is a 2-year tour I did unaccompanied, right? As you get older, you got to make tougher decisions, right? So 16 years of marriage. So my wife and kids are set up in the States. So I had to come out here alone. But it's ending. The nightmare is ending. I'm coming back home. Welcome to the Marine Corps. Welcome to the military. All right. Now, the definition of saving. This is my definition. Using money to achieve financial security. Okay, keyword being financial security. Now, for investing, which I'll do a video called The Magic of Investing, that is financial freedom. Okay, two different things. Financial security, financial freedom. Okay, I have an article titled just that. Financial security versus financial freedom. All right, so you want to know the difference. Security is a blanket, right? If an emergency happens or money needs to be spent quickly, then you have your financial security. And you obviously want to start your financial security before you start investing. Investing is making a lot of money so you can do what you want to do. All right, you don't use your savings for that. You shouldn't use your savings to go on vacation. You should use your investments. They should be giving you a huge amount of money where you could just go on vacation anytime you want. All right, so that's the goal of investing. So savings is for emergencies. It's for things that unplanned things. And moving forward, you want to have your savings there, and in the future you can actually leverage your savings. And I'll tell you about that later. Okay, so financial security. Now, why is it hard for most people to save? Because they have one source of income. All right, my whole channel, my whole space is based on creating multiple streams of income passively. All right, does it take time to get set up? Yes. So I'm not going to diverge too much into that because I have tons of videos on that. Okay, so look at my video, what is passive income? All right, you need to have multiple sources of income. And when you create those multiple sources, you put those into saving. Then you put those in investing, okay? Now, so the title is The Magic of Savings. What is magical about savings? Anybody can do it. All you have to do is make a goal in your head that I'm going to save $5,000 this year and make it happen, right? First, you'll start. You'll look at your paycheck and be like, okay, well, it's going to take me. I can save $300 per paycheck, so it'll take me the whole year to do it. Got it. So then you'll start getting curious. Okay, how can I speed this up? What if I rented a room? Well, I could do it now in 4 months. What if I started a blog? Well, your blog is not going to take off in a year or two. But what if I rented my vehicle on the weekend since I don't use it? Me and my husband, me and my wife, whatever, me and my girlfriend, boyfriend, well, we only use one car on the weekends. Can we rent the other car out over the weekend? Make $200-$300 that we could put in savings. All right, so that's the magic, is that start using your brain to come up with ways to save faster. And once you figure that out, then life becomes a lot easier. Okay, so the hard part of life is there's probably a 5-year span where you have to live below your means to save and invest, and then you'll come out of that and you'll be completely free for the rest of your life. I'm on year 3. We already have $200,000 plus, right? So now we're just cleaning everything up, making everything smooth. We're probably going to go for another 4 or 5 years, get $1 million in the bank. I'm done, right? There's nothing left. That's the good part. You have to downgrade your life for 3 to 5 years, preferably 5. And it's not even a horrible downgrade. Maybe you had to have roommates. Maybe you had to rent your car out. Maybe you had to work a second job, if that's what you want to do. Start a blog, which is hard. Do all that stuff. Get it all knocked out. 5 years. So I'll be coming out of this at age 45. Starting at age 38. But we're going to do it for longer than most. And then I'm free. I'll have $50,000 a year in dividends. Right there. Plus my military retirement, which is going to be ridiculous. Plus my books might maybe reach $2,000 a month. I'm good. Right? I'm not counting my houses that are going to go up in value and rents. So anyway, most savers are risk averse, meaning that it's very hard for savers to take risk in the stock market, to start a business, start a blog, right? But that doesn't mean that you sit and start saving. All right, start saving and then we work on everything else first. But get financially secure. Get $20,000 in the bank and then we could talk about everything else. Okay, so that you want to look at your security. What's the worst thing that can happen? If you own a house, what's the most expensive thing that can happen? Probably your AC going out. How much does that cost? Somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000. Okay, if you own a car, what is that? $3,000, $4,000 might be max. All right, so you want to get that much money in the bank. So you probably 20 grand. That's a roof, right? If your roof caves in, hopefully your insurance covers it. But then you have to look at your insurance deductibles, $5,000. All right, so you want to save. 20 grand is a good amount of money. Okay? Now, if you don't know how to save a lot of money, start with the basics. Here's 2 books I recommend. All right, so it's in the articles in the book I have. Okay? Know Yourself, Know Your Money. This is by Dave Ramsey's daughter. I think her name is Rachel Cruz. Okay? Know Yourself, Know Your Money. This is going to talk about what personalities or what things you know you've seen growing up that are affecting you and your money. All right? Money is actually psychology. There's a book called The Psychology of Money. All right? So it has to deal with your mindset. If you think rich people are bad, then you're not going to become rich. All right. So if you think that savings is hard, then you're not going to save. If you think that living on a budget is too limiting, then you're not going to budget. All right. So how do you look at budgeting? I look at budgeting as freedom. I get paid like we got paid yesterday. I paid my bills. I don't know how you do budgets, but I have a special account that is for my bills only. Bills and investing. Some of my investing, okay? So I have $3,000 going into account. My bills add up to like roughly 1,000, right? Different things. And then I make my investing part of my budget. So right on day one, I have another 1,000 or 1,200 going off to investments. Then I use the other 800 to invest and if for any emergencies or little things coming up. All right, that's day and date. That's payday. All right, so to me, it's free because I'm like, okay, cool. This is exactly what I have to spend. This is exactly where all my money's going. I'm good. That's freedom to me. I don't want to go. There's nothing I want to spend randomly. All right, I might buy a random bag of M&Ms. Might. Other than that, everything's pretty much scheduled. To me, that's freedom, but I'm also in the military. So my definition of freedom is a lot different than everybody else, okay? Now, Dave Ramsey's book I read was Baby Step Millionaires, all right? So Dave Ramsey's going to tell you how to save and invest, okay? His saving is first you save $1,000 and then you pay off all your debt and then you start investing or saving more money. You save your emergency fund, okay? But you want to get that $1,000 first just so you don't get back in debt as you grind up. Okay, so read those 2 books. I highly recommend them for if you need to learn how to save. All right, there's nothing wrong with not knowing how to save. What's wrong is not learning. Okay, now finally, once you get all that done, you don't just have to save in a normal savings account. Okay, there's different levels of saving. Okay, you got your high yield savings account right now, which is 0.5%. So half of 1%, which is still a lot more than a standard savings account, which is probably 0.1%. So it's still 5 times more. All right, so you'll actually see a little bit of money coming into that account. Once you get $3,000-4,000 in there, you'll see a couple bucks. Okay, then you have your Series I bonds. These are at the Treasury. Okay, so I have, I don't know, $6,000 in I bonds. All right, I bonds are great because they can keep up with inflation. All right, so it has a variable interest rate, so it goes up. Right now it's at 7%. Right, it hasn't always been at 7%. But who knows what it's going to reset in May. So we'll figure out what's next. But it's good. So you'll say it should be high again, right? At least over 5. So you put those, you buy some I bonds. And I bonds are good because you can get your money back in after a year, right? So after the first year. So don't put too much money up front. But after the first year, there's no real penalty, right, for getting your money back. So if I have an emergency, I can just liquidate $4,000 or $5,000 of I bonds and be good. Right, but in the meantime, they're gaining interest. So I bonds are good. All right, and then my favorite, of course, is USDC stablecoin on the Voyager app. Okay, I love USDC because it's 9%. Okay, so this is cryptocurrencies. Now you're trading $1 for a digital crypto dollar, right? So the price doesn't fluctuate; it just stays at $1, one digital dollar. One USDC is worth $1, but you're getting 9% interest. Okay, so once you get $10,000 in normal savings, then maybe if you're risk averse, if you're scared to go into the stock market, then USDC is for you. 9% is huge. It's livable. So if you got $100,000 in your USDC account, that's $90,000. Wait, hold on. That's $9,000 a year. Okay, so that's $800 a month. That's bad math. Say $800 a month. That's huge. That's huge. That's a good chunk of change. If $800 isn't a lot for you, well, you're richer than me. But to me, as somebody who's about to hit $1,000 in dividends probably this month, $800 is huge. I mean, man, like that's should be your food budget or less. So USDC is going to pay for your food for the rest of your life. Not a bad gig. All right, so this is important. The magic of saving. It is important that we learn how to do this stuff. All right, that's $800 you don't have to work for. That's how financial freedom works. You get enough investments that you can live off of. So that means you don't have to work. So that's why I have this whole, 400 plus books on this stuff. Because I didn't know this stuff. I didn't learn it. Nobody taught me this. I had to read it and learn the words passive income at age 38. Lucky I learned it then. Now we're already financially pretty much free once I retire, but we're just trying to stack chips because we have kids and we need to make sure that we're setting them up for financial freedom so they can do what they want to do, right? So the grind is real. I love it. I love the grind. And to be successful, you have to train yourself to love the grind. There's no other way to do it, right? You can grind at work, and then once you stop working, the money stops. Okay. Or you can grind up, learn different things, create a pile of money that pays you, and then you escape. You're done. Right? So look for it. Hopefully, if I reach $1,000 this month in dividends, I'm going to be close. Hopefully, I write an article on that and do a video. If not, probably next month. But it's exciting. It's exciting because we started this journey less than 3 years ago. So hopefully we'll hit $1,000 before the 3-year mark, which will be 3 months from now, right? So hopefully we hit it. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. I think that's all I have for today. Grab the book. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and just buy the paperback or the digital version on Amazon. Right, I'll get a couple bucks. That helps me. Helps the grind, right? But if not, grab the free book. Share it. Share the channel. like, subscribe, give it, share it with people, right? So my books are small, right, for a reason. Most people can't finish the first chapter of a book. They say only 10% of people get past the first chapter, right? So you give somebody a colorful book, 50 pages, right? And the chances are they could probably read it. They'll probably get through it. And there's a lot of information crammed. I don't talk about a lot of crap in my books, man. It's pretty much to the point. I don't tell any real stories. I don't, because trust me, I'm on 103 books. Those books can be a lot shorter, right? You have 300-page book. Come on, what are you telling me in 300 pages? Get it down to like 60 pages. Let me know. But they can't sell for as much, right? So there you go, right? So that's why my books are so short. So you can get in, get out, learn something that you can put of use instantly, and then move forward. If you like it, then you can read my long books. But if not, just read it, learn something. Okay, USDC 9%. If you learn that, that's your takeaway. Great. Right. So anyway, I'm rambling, but thank you for being here, and check out my other videos, and I'll keep it coming. I'm trying to do one a week because I'm not trying to make it big on YouTube yet. Right. So maybe in 2 years, that's my goal, to actually get monetized and go that route. Right. But right now I'm going to focus on my writing. So that's why my videos look like the way they do. Right. So, all right. With that, I'm out. See you later. Peace.